I first became involved when my son Adam was diagnosed at the age of 13, which was a huge shock to our family and rather devastating. When I shared the news with him that same evening, he said to me, "Don't worry, Mom, it's no big deal. I'll go to the hospital tomorrow and they'll cure me." I didn't know very much about type 1 diabetes at the time, but I knew they would not cure it tomorrow or the next day, and I knew his life would be altered forever. I have a second son, Brian. He was diagnosed, and both of my sons were 13. It wasn't quite as scary with him because at least we knew a little bit about type 1. So when we were given the approval of the national office to open the temporary chapter, I immediately went out and found some office space on the west side of Madison. The first day I walked through those doors, it wasn't an office at all. It was a bare room. There was no desk, there was no computer, there was no copy machine or even a ream of paper. But there was a phone book and there was a phone. By the end of the day, I bravely approached the phone and called UW Health and their present CEO, Gordon Durzon. The $50,000 that we were charged to raise by the national office was raised. We actually raised $53,000 that year. But when I go back to think about it, without the support of UW Health and Gordon Durzon, we wouldn't have made it. It was a huge victory for us. Before we had been the Greater Madison chapter, and that second year we became the Western Wisconsin chapter and took over a pretty extensive territory that ran south to north.
We began our journey with JDRF 20 years ago, and that began with one of my predecessors. And Gordon Durzon, I know you're in the audience right now, so thank you on behalf of JDRF and UW Health for launching our relationship, and we intend to continue our commitment well into the future.
1998 was our first gala, Passport to the Cure. And UW Health was our presenting sponsor. Dr. Hans Solinger told his personal story. And Julie Schrader, who was a grandmother of twins, Taylor and Peyton Thompson, she got on stage and spoke about the difficulties of managing type 1 diabetes with these two little, probably 4-year-olds, all, their pretty little party dresses. It was a fantastic night. There were probably about 100 people there, which was huge at the time for us. But the change has come when I reflect back on that first gala to this current gala 20 years later and see that we have 600 people in attendance tonight, which is incredibly amazing. Yet some things remain the same, and UW Health is one of them.
Many of our faculty that are focused on diabetes have been touched by diabetes, whether it be a child, a spouse, a family member. So the passion to take care of the patients is not just about our patients, and is about our patients, but also about their personal experience and commitment to finding new ways to manage the disease or to treat the disease or prevent the disease. But it's a passion that lives within many of the caregivers that are involved in both the research, the care, but also in JDRF.
When the ride was introduced after the staff office opened up, there was a great deal of intrigue and enthusiasm. It was to happen in Death Valley, and there were 9 riders who signed on. This year, my fellow honoree, Joe Brady, is, of course, our coach, our local coach, but he also serves as a consultant on the national ride team.
2006 was my first ride, and then I started coaching the next year, 2007. Nationally, we're known as the Honey Badgers, and everybody knows that it's a 24/7 disease. And Honey badgers, never give up. So it fits really well. Fits really well. The variety of the people that make our team up is, I think it's testament to the fact that you can take people from all different walks of life, all different political persuasions, all different personalities and dispositions, and support each other as you would if you were an extended family. So we've got youth riders, and then we've got riders who are in their 70s. And last year we had the second largest team in the country. We had a goal for a number of years to reach 100 riders, and last year we had 114. So very proud of that. When you experience those 4 or 5 days with the other riders, you really learn what love's all about.
My son Jesse, he's going to ride in honor of his brother Adam. His toughest mile will be mile 23, which is the silent mile, the mile where we remember those we've lost to type 1 diabetes. Jesse will ride for Brian, his brother, who we lost about 18 months ago to diabetes ketoacidosis. It'll be a tough one for him, but I'll be at the finish line with cheers and tears for sure.
UW Health will always be part of the JDRF family. It's our partner in the community for progressing in the treatment, the new cures, the research for diabetes. We will always be there in some form with both financial contribution, but also in contribution of human resources, our employees and their direct engagement with our researchers who are looking for the next generations of treatments and cures, and with our physicians who are taking care of patients in our community and working with the families. We will always be a strong partner.
It's wonderful. The wonderful things about this family of supporters of us with type 1, this JDRF family, gathering here tonight to help us see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's possible. It's possible, and it's something that I think as type 1s, we can never thank all of you enough. We probably don't say thank you very often, but we want you to know how much we love you and how much we feel appreciative for all you do for us. The JDRF family is very, very special.